Hey, this is Kev Carr, CEO, Pro to CEO. Today I want to talk to you about a professional development tip I learned that really changed my life. And it really has stuck with me ever since the day I heard it, and I haven't strayed away from it. I've coached many people on this. Actually, some of those people have told me the moment I said that, they wrote it down and it stayed with them. And I'm sharing it with you because I think it's that powerful. And the tip is grow where you plant it. When I first started my career, I wanted to change the world. I had that big Superman on my chest. I wanted everybody to know that, look, I was first generation kid. I was from the project, single parent raised. I'm not supposed to be here, but I did make it through because I didn't give up on myself. And the people who believed in me didn't give up on me. They actually gave me things to inspire me, motivate me, and that pushed me forward. And that allowed me to get to college. And then when I finished my undergrad, I decided, through the help of a mentor, he said, your college material, you should go to graduate school and further your education. And I went to grad school with that motivation once again. Then I took the opportunity before I graduated when someone said, hey, you'd be great at being an advisor for student athletes. I said, sure. I want to work with guys like my brother who failed out, who didn't do as well in the beginning years of college, that he ended up, leaving college prematurely because he didn't have the adaptation skills and understand the culture of universities and college because nobody went before him. I wanted to right that wrong. So I'm like, look, I'm from the projects, man. I'm gonna help these guys. I'm gonna identify with them. They're gonna get through it. But guess what? I interviewed for that job, got it. And this is what happened. I get there, my boss says, no, man, you're not gonna work with football and basketball. You're gonna work with cross country, tennis, golf, and track and field. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm a brother, man. I'm from the projects. I'm single parent raised. Wouldn't it be a better fit for me to help these guys versus that guys? Those guys over there, those kids are, well, a little more privileged, perhaps. I was naive in thinking that they don't need any help. They got what they need. And I'm like, I need to help this group. And he was like, and I'll never forget this. He said to me, grow where you plant it. He said, I'm going to show you why. So here's what happened. I take this job working with cross country, track and field, tennis and golf, student athletes. And I didn't know a thing about these kids and they didn't know a thing about me. Some of them were international, some of them were transfers. I had never really been to a tennis match, never been on a golf course, didn't know a ton about the field aspect of track and field. I had done some track. So to me, it was really eye-opening to get this opportunity, but yet I learned so much in it that it prepared me for all the things that would possibly go wrong. I had no idea how to work with female student athletes. So working with the tennis team and the golf team and the track and field and cross country, that opened me up to how to work with female student athletes. And there were some challenges that I had initially working with a golfer from London who wanted to do something else than study. She was really big into her golf game and really didn't want to focus on being a student athlete. I remember that, and I had to really help her adjust. I remember working with a golfer from South Africa, and he was really, really talented as a student. He really didn't have to study. He was a super smart guy, but he had to hear in order to remain eligible. But all he wanted to do is golf. So I had to work with his mindset and adjust him. And then some of the track and field kids were first generation, just like I was, and I didn't realize that, and I was really instrumental in helping them adjust and get going. So in every which way, I had to learn what international student athletes need to come into America, visas, all that stuff, what their schools in other parts of the world, in Africa, in England, in Italy, what they accepted and didn't accept, from those golfers and those programs and those schools that are in high school level compared to America. But when they come here, do those credits transfer into American schools? I was learning all kind of foundational things, how to get them tutors that spoke second languages to help them understand English, to be better in the classroom. Like, there was so many things that I had explained to them about American institutions and eligibility, and how to go find the international student unions, how to, as a transfer, adjust to a big D1 school and 4-year university and go right into a very hard program like communications or engineering or mathematics, etc. Like, it was really, really an adjustment. And what I learned was critical, and I began to do an okay job and move to a very good job to doing a great job. And that took me about a year and a half, 2 years to do. And as fate would have it, the work began and news began to travel that, hey, that guy Kevin Carr has done an amazing job with our teams. The student athletes like him in golf, tennis, track, and cross country. The coaches were saying great things about me. And then one day my boss called me in and he says, man, I just want to let you know you grew where you were planted. And this is a lesson. He said, had I thrown you into football and basketball, you wouldn't have been able to handle that, because those students, they have a host of issues that are very different than these students. And I needed you to grow where you were planted in the beginning, understand the foundational skills like basketball, how to dribble, how to pass, how to defend, how to rebound, how to box out, how to, bounce pass, all those things. I was teaching you that on this group so I could get you ready for helping you grow now. And I'm going to now include you in football and basketball because you grew where you were planted. So that is the lesson. Grow where you're planted. When you are hired, lesson number 2, when you are hired to do a job, don't lose sight of that and do the job that they hired you for. And do it well. Because if you don't, that means what they hired you for, you lost sight of that. And it actually can, number 3 tip, it could lose your job. And I don't want anybody to lose your job here. Wherever you are, in whatever profession, you've got to lock in and do the job you're hired for well first. And then grow and grow and grow. But first, you have to be validated with the job that you are hired to do. And then others around you will validate you, like those coaches, to the eyes of my superior. And he recognized I had a command of the knowledge, command of the information, command of the industry. And he gave me more room. And he expanded my role not only to recruiting, he added another level of responsibilities, which allowed me to get into the life skills and athlete development space and player development space. There's so many names of it now that it changed my life, literally, by growing where I was planted. Not trying to be Superman out the gate with the big S on my chest, but doing what I was hired for and being disciplined. And that's the 4th thing, be disciplined in your job and stick with it. And the 5th thing is dominate that role. I mean, handle that thing like nobody's business. And when you do that, when they see you handling the job, they can't really deny you. You can't be denied. You are so capable of doing the job because you didn't have to validate yourself. Your brand speaks of that, and others around you validate you. And that was the point, that growing where I was planted allowed me to define that I could do this job and I could do it well, so well that other people noticed and they sang my praises. So when I arrived somewhere, my boss said, hey man, I already heard you doing a good job. I got to give you more territory. I got to give you more to do because you are knocking it out of the park. So that is my tip. Grow where you're planted. Don't be so eager to get somewhere else. Do what they ask you to do first and do it well. And have the discipline to stay with it. Don't look over here. Don't look over there. Lock in. Lock in. And dominate. When you discipline yourself, you dominate. And then you will increase and open up like I did and got more opportunities. And I'm so thankful to that lesson to this day. That is your tip. Grow where you're planted. Now, here's the next thing I need you to do. Activate on that. Activate on that by looking at your role right now and say, based on, dust that job description off if you haven't in a while, and compare it and say, am I doing what they asked me to do? Or am I all off here and there looking at everybody else's, saying those departments are doing way better stuff than I'm doing. I want to do that, and I'm trying to get over there. That's fine, but make sure you don't lose sight. So go back, review, check out what you're supposed to be doing. Make sure you're doing it. Check in with your supervisor. Hey, man, hey, he or she, am I doing what you asked me to do? And if so, I just want to make sure, because I'm interested in growing here. I'm interested in coming up, and I want to dominate and be excellent. I just want to make sure we're in alignment. So make sure you dust that out. Make sure you got the right thing, and then go in and let them know and see that you are doing it. And then if they haven't noticed it, ask them for more opportunity, because now you've proven it. You've checked, you've triple checked, you looked at whatever job matrix, because some companies have this formula and matrix that they ask you to do in order to move up and to move and advance. You got to do this, that, and the third. And when you do that, you validate you have been, and now you're ready. So that is your working active tip. Go back, make sure you're doing what your job has asked you to do. And then if they haven't asked or seen that, you show them, and then you should be good. All right, that's Kevin. I'm Kevin, and that is it. Hope you enjoyed this. Grow where you're planted, and you will move forward. Thanks, and have a great day wherever you are in the world.